Sasa23 here. In today's knife therapy, I have the Vosteed Raccoon. This knife comes in at $59, and one I'm pretty excited about. The knife comes in 3 different variations. The one you see here with the black micarta and the satin blade. You can also get it in a green micarta with a stonewash blade. Looks really, really nice. And they also have one other variation. It's a blue micarta with a satin blade as well. Let's get some quick specs out of the way. You have a total length of 7.58 inches, so it's in that medium size range. You have a blade length of 3.24 inches, a grip area from here to the back right here of 3.6 inches. If you want to choke up, it's 4.6 inches. Handle scale thickness is a pretty slender 0.48, and a closed width in the pocket from here to here is 1.16 inches. Blade stock thickness is 0.11, and the behind the edge thickness on my particular knife is around 18 thousandths, sharpened at 18 degrees per side. All right, let's take a close look at this. You have a beautiful drop point blade, like I said, with a satin finish on this 14C 28N blade steel, which is a excellent budget steel, probably one of my favorites. It's a stainless steel. It holds a really decent edge, and it can get incredibly sharp. It's not super hard to get incredibly sharp, and I can put just about any edge on it, and it's going to perform great. You do have a small row of jimping here. It's mainly aesthetics because it doesn't offer much grip, mainly maybe a indexing point. Maybe if you bear it down, you get a little bit of traction, but it's not that far, and I was choked up mainly in my testing, so I missed it overall. Your tip on it is pretty darn robust. You could definitely do some, twisting in some wood if you needed to. All your detail work, your tip should be just fine. You have a nice sharpening choil, or you could call it forward finger choil, up there in the front. That should give you a lot of sharpening life before it starts to widen in the back right here. After all the testing was done, I did sharpen this up to see how well it sharpened. It sharpened up nicely and got ridiculously sharp. You have a high flat grind on here that comes down to a pretty thin edge, so it should slice pretty well. Let's find out. The knife came to me very sharp out of box and was passing through the cardboard effortlessly and quickly. I did have to make sure that I choked up in the forward finger choil areas so that I wouldn't get hung up. As soon as I noticed it, I was able to adjust for it. You're able to get right up on that edge, at least for my medium-sized hands. We had to move things into my garage, so if the quality or angles aren't better on these next few tests, I apologize. But now we're here testing the ergos and how well that edge is wanting to bite into the wood. This is a piece of birch, and once again, I choked up to my surprise, it was that sweet spot, very comfortable. I was able to get a lot of pressure in there. The knife wanted to bite deep. I was able to get fine curls very easily. The edge felt excellent. No hot spots to speak of so far. Yeah, this is where my camera angles were kind of awful, so I apologize. This is where the knife really started to impress me, because of how aggressive the edge was. It's fairly thin behind the edge. It came stupid sharp, and it's making sharp work of all the material that I'm putting in front of it. This is just some webbing right there that I threw in the mix just to see how well it would cut. Actually, it was a belt. This is definitely the perfect blade shape, cutting on a flat surface, especially in that pinch grip. It's nice and comfortable. That's just the way I hold it when I'm pushing down into materials. The edge definitely felt nice and crisp. That's a pretty thick piece of denim. It's not the 12-ounce denim. That's just a pair of blue jeans that my wife was throwing away, but did not feel like I was cutting anything. Very easily. Doing drag cuts like this into the leather it really excels at that, and it was no problem whatsoever. Now on to the 1/2-inch twisted sisal rope. I always have my fingers crossed that the knife will be sharp and it'll have some bite to it. And yes, this knife still feels super sharp with a ton of bite. I did mainly push cuts through the rope with very minimal downward pressure. The pinch grip was really, really comfortable, and I was able to exert a lot of pressure in that pinch grip. I used mainly the belly area to do most of the cutting. I ended up making 40 cuts until I ran out of rope, and I most certainly could have done a lot more. It was just, it didn't feel like it was slowing down whatsoever. As you can see, it was, I don't know how to explain it, but it was definitely a good feeling going in there. You can see me kind of dragging. It's because I just wasn't pushing the knife forward enough. It wasn't the knife's edge or anything. But yeah, definitely had me impressed. And after I finish this, I will test that edge as well. Well, hope you all enjoyed that cutting. I said I was going to test the edge, and let's check it out. It feels really good. Now, this is a piece of phone book paper, so it may not cut this cleanly, but let's see. Yeah, I got a little small hang up there. Yeah. Let's go in the front where I was doing a lot of that cutting. Wow. Very, very good edge. I guarantee you if I hit this on a strop a few times, it would be back to where it was from the factory. Now let's close it up and take a look at the deployment and the action. This is a button lock, so once you release this button, this thing is so smooth. It's riding on ceramic bearings, and it's the tension's dialed in nicely for the button lock. It's got dual thumb studs, easily accessible, and comes firing out nicely. Reverse flick is easy, and I can slow roll it as well. Very nicely done there. Easily access it on the left side, and that lock, let's see, I can reverse flick it as well. So this is a pretty much ambidextrous knife, totally ambidextrous knife, because you have a pocket clip on both sides that you can use on both sides, dual thumb studs, and that button lock. All right, let's close it up and take a look at the handle area. You have T8 on the pivot and on the body screws. The only screws that are T6 are this screw right here that you don't have to worry about whenever you take the knife apart, because that's just holding that liner in there, and on the pocket clip screws. The scales are made of micarta. In this case, it's black, and here's the green. It feels very good. It's got that really soft feeling to it, and very good grip to it. Love whenever they don't polish that or anything. It's got that fabric feeling. And then they did a good job of softening all the edges. So I had no hot spots whenever I was doing my testing. I like that they put a filler tab for the pocket clip on this side. It is a deep carry, tip up, left or right hand carry. Let's check it out in the pocket. You do have a little bit of ramp. It may not fit some of your thicker pants. I had no problem with my jeans. Now, if you do have thick pants, it may not go all the way back because there's not a whole lot of room underneath there. But like I said, my jeans, I had no issues. It goes in nicely. That's what you have sticking out of the pocket. Of course, I would like to see this brought all the way back here and remove that lanyard hole, put a pin there or something. But that way, at least you got something to grab a hold to, because that micarta is going to want to grab onto to your fabric of your jeans. Not, it's just holding it in better. All right, let's take a look at the button lock. You have a nice recessed area, so you're not going to accidentally disengage that. And it does stay out of the way whenever you're doing like reverse flicks and stuff like that, because my thumb doesn't push it down. And whenever I was doing that pinch grip, I didn't have any issues with it disengaging. So that's always nice to see. Absolutely no button stick. None whatsoever on my particular knife. Let's see, I don't think there's any on this one as well. Yeah, none on either one of these. Excellent. Good tension on them. Your lockup. No side to side, no up and down on both of these, because I checked that one earlier. Now let's take a look at the inside. They have inset stainless steel liners, as you can see there, with skeletonization, and it's like a half liner just to house the lock. And on this side as well, hopefully you can see that, you have skeletonization also. So this thing's pretty darn light. Let's check it out on the scale. First off, in grams. 90.5 grams and 3.19. Yeah, that's excellent. Now for some quick size comparisons, we have the Vosteed Thunderbird and the Nightshade LT. Thunderbird's a little bit larger, and the Nightshade is a little bit shorter. Next up, we have the Kaiser T1 and the Sin Cut Sashi. The T1's a little bit shorter, but you have more cutting edge because of the choil area on this one. And the Sashi is a little bit larger, and you definitely have more cutting edge on the Sashi. Lastly, we have the Ontario Rat Model 1 and 2. It's just in the middle of those two. All right, now for my nitpicks and complaints. I really only have one that really bothered me, and I wish this clip would have been brought up higher, move that hole so it would have been cleaner here, and put a pin right there. That would have been nice. Maybe even add a little bit more blade length. You could have put a little bit more in there, but you know, as it sits, it's still good. Other than that, I absolutely love the knife. I've been carrying it a lot lately. It's an excellent, excellent button lock. Might be my favorite button lock at this price point at this moment. I'm currently testing all my button locks and knives from all this year again, just so I can make my decisions for my 2020 best of 2022. That's going to be a tough one. So, yeah, if you have any questions about this whatsoever, please feel free to ask me down in the description. Definitely one that I highly recommend. And before I let y'all go, as a thank you to my awesome subscribers, they sent these to some of the channels. This is a leather knife bag, and right now, let me open it up. Right now, you can go on Amazon. I have the link down below and get this for, I think it's like 10 bucks with the coupon code. It's got like a cut resistant material here. You got all kinds of slots for whatever tools, knives, folders, fixed blades, folders, whatever you want. Very nicely done. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be loading mine out. I'm going to try to put my EDC fixed blades in here. We'll see. But there you go. I hope everybody is having a great, great Monday, and I will see y'all on the next one.